My Space with Lisa is proudly brought to you by Samsung, Casa Trasaco Groups, and Innisfly.
I would love to eat out sometimes, but have you ever considered what goes into restaurant decor? For today on My Space with Lisa, we're going to talk about restaurant decor. What goes into it, the thoughts behind it, because sometimes the designs are quite intricate. I'll be joined by Salom, who's going to help me to talk about everything that has to do with restaurant decor. So if you're somebody who's considering opening a restaurant or updating your restaurant, this is the show for you. Salom, join me, come on.
Hey.
You look beautiful.
You too. Thanks for having me
with the
again.
red and the natural hair.
Thank you.
I have borrowed hair, but it's all good.
So how are you doing?
I'm good. People are going to think we're being partial because you're always on my show, but I love you.
And I love you too. And I like being on the show.
So before we start, we need to have a drink first, don't you think so? Because we're in a restaurant, so we need to have,
What else do you do in a restaurant?
Yeah, so please. Okay, now tell me, restaurant decor. Because there's some places that you go to and then you just go like, oh, because the decor just takes your breath away, the ambience, everything. Tell me, basics. What goes into restaurant decor?
Well, first of all,
the concept.
The concept.
Yes.
I think first of all, you need to consider what type of restaurant you're opening. Okay. So I see sometimes people open a casual restaurant and they try to put together fine dining.
I'd love you to continue, but when it's...
Cheers, definitely.
Cheers to 2018.
Yes.
Behave.
First time seeing you this year, right? Cheers.
All right,
life.
let's go. This is good, yes. Okay, so please, tell me.
So basically, I think you have to consider the type of restaurant you're opening, because the type of restaurant you're opening informs the type of decor you do.
Okay.
Basically, you have different types of restaurants.
Yes.
For want of time, we can't talk about all of them, but we can talk about fast food restaurants, we can talk about casual dining, we can talk about a deli, then we can talk about fine dining.
Right.
So, starting with maybe a fast food restaurant.
Okay.
A fast food restaurant, as the name suggests, you're not supposed to sit there for long and have a long chat with anybody. You're just supposed to maybe do your takeouts, maybe a quick 5 minute, 10 minutes meal, and then you're gone. So what you tend to find in
the fast food
places is that the seats are quite small, calm, and a bit uncomfortable. There's a bit of psychology behind it.
Okay, which is
the fact that they don't want you to get too comfortable.
So you sit for long.
So you don't sit for long.
Right.
Another thing with fast food restaurants is you want to encourage people to buy immediately they come in. You just want them to attract them to what you have.
Okay.
So you have like big pictures of your food. Attractive pictures, and you have a lot. You tend to have a lot of reds and yellows, as we said the last time. When we talked about
red.
color.
Yes.
Because red gives you that. It makes you want to like do something.
Yes.
And
it's like
energy
booster.
Okay. So once you see red, you're like, okay, and it's actually good for whetting your appetite. Red is actually good for whetting your appetite. So you see a lot of reds in fast food restaurants. Okay, you just want to grab something quickly. You see something on the menu, or you see something in pictures, and you're like, okay, let me just grab something quickly and go. So that's with fast food restaurants. So you have to think about what you're looking for.
Okay.
So if you're opening a fast food restaurant, you don't try and borrow maybe concepts from a casual diner or fine dining.
But what if you want to incorporate the two?
Okay.
You want to have both the fast food section and have the casual, dining part. Can you incorporate the two? Because for somewhere like Ghana like this, not everybody is into the fast food concept. It's only outside that you get the fast food concept going on. So some people would love to do the fast food, and others would love to do the casual with your friends, chit-chatting, having a drink like we are doing right now. So can you incorporate the two? And if you want to do that, what are you supposed to consider? You consider your space, you consider your location. I mean, what goes into that?
Okay, so I think that's, you're going totally into the restaurant openers,
the proper
ideas.
Okay.
If you're opening a restaurant, you're considering location and everything, but we are talking about decor.
Yes.
So I think what you need to consider is, if you want to do maybe a fast food restaurant and then maybe a combination of the two, you have to consider your space, for example.
Sure.
Definitely, if you're doing just a fast food place, you don't need so much space for people to sit down. If you're doing maybe a combination of the two, you need a little more space than
yeah.
a fast food place for people to sit down. And I'll say with restaurant decor, I think it all boils down to the concept you're going for.
Okay.
Even if it's a fast food place or it's a casual diner, the concept you're going for. So maybe, for example, in this place, I'll consider this place a casual dining place.
Yes, it is.
And then once you come into this place, it screams Italy. It screams Italy. Everything here, like I was just looking at the crates at the back there,
yes,
the wine cellar and everything. So I mean, Italy is known for food. Italy is known for wine. So once you get in there, you get the concept of what they are trying to sell to you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that diners tend to do. Diners and fast food places tend to do. They tend to sell you concepts.
Concept, okay.
So basically, so I think with restaurant decor, you have to think about concept, the concept you're going for. So it embodies or it tells who you are, or maybe the restaurant person, or the restaurant owner, or just maybe you've done your research, you've seen that the people in this locality will tend to like this type of place or this type of design or something like that. So you do something that suits them.
Right.
So I guess for Casa Trasaco, it just makes sense that they'll put together a place that screams Italy.
Italy,
so like
because their things are from Italy.
And they're mostly Italian.
But for those who are considering, opening a restaurant, but then their budget is on, is quite tight. What are the things that you can incorporate to make the decor look beautiful, but at the same time within budget? Because when you think about a restaurant, it screams expensive.
It depends, really. Well, but it depends. Like there are ranges, as we're talking about. So you have like maybe a fast food place. I don't think putting together a fast food place will cost you so much as putting together maybe a fine dining place. Actually,
because there are some fast food restaurants that you go to, and then the concept of the decor there looks quite expensive. Yes. Okay. But as I said, what other things can you incorporate to make it within budget for a Ghanaian person who's trying to open it?
So I think we should put together a scenario. So maybe you're opening a restaurant. What type of restaurant is it? What type of food are you going to
casual restaurant?
And what type of food will you be serving?
The average local and continental dishes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I think you want to consider the space.
Yes, definitely.
You want to consider, as we were talking about, we want to talk about concepts. So the type of seating you want. What type of, are you going to do round tables, square tables, rectangular tables? Then that also is informed by the space that you have, because you can't go and do maybe long tables in a space that's really cramped. So you have to consider these things. Once you have your space, you decide that okay, this place can fit. It'll make more sense to fit maybe square tables or rectangular tables or round tables. Okay. Something basic. If you're going for basic minimal decor, so something basic like that, then the type of chairs. If your space is small, for instance, I don't encourage you to get big cushions and stuff like that because you don't have enough space. Basically. So simple chairs. These look like they'll be good for a small space like that. Sure. And then maybe your setup, your table setup, as you said, it's a casual dining place. I've been to, I don't want to, I'm not even going to mention any names, but I went to an Indian restaurant just recently, and then it's supposed to be a casual dining place. Okay. But then they had borrowed concept from fine dining, and it was totally mismatched because they had, a tablecloth, but the tablecloth was polyester. I'm like, why bother doing a tablecloth if you can't do like proper maybe fabric or linens or something like that? So definitely you don't want to spend too much. So you can forget the tablecloth. You have placemats, so you can get your placemats. You need napkin holders. Now there are so many interesting concepts for napkin holders. I see them around all the time. So maybe you can get your own design, or you can get. Now China, once you give them your design, they'll do it for you. You can buy it off the market. Same. They'll do it for you. So you can get your napkin holder, maybe your salt and pepper shakers, things like that to put on the table. Maybe some flowers here and there. Some quirky things, like I like this dancing cows or matching cows. Little quirky things that wouldn't cost you too much. Okay. So you can do that, and then just add a little bit of personality and a little bit of taste to the space. Okay. So your chairs, your table setup. Don't try and do fine dining and do polyester tablecloths. It's not necessary. So little things here and there.
Okay, so I'm a Ghanaian, and I love my culture. Okay. When it comes to an average Ghanaian restaurant, let's say a local Ghanaian restaurant. Okay. What are some of the ideas that you can give me to make my place look Ghanaian, African, or maybe let's say African? Okay. Because you're going to have, people of all types and culture coming in. You want to be able to represent the country or where you're coming from. What are some of the things that you can put in, yes, to make it look Ghanaian?
You know,
yes,
speak to your
personality.
Exactly, sure. So this will bring me to another point. I always say that design is, well, once I studied literature. Okay. And one wise friend of mine said that literature is like, you don't have to overthink it. Okay. It's the and I think it's the same with design. Well, at least that's what I apply to design. You don't have to overthink it. Okay. You have to think about it, but don't overthink it. So I see people who try to do maybe a Ghanaian concept or an African concept, and they go overboard. Like the drapes are African prints, and then the walls.
You have a problem with that?
It's a bit too much for me. Like
in your opinion,
like the ceiling is African. So I feel like you can do touches.
Okay.
So maybe if you have maybe a fabric, maybe curtain, you can do trimmings of African print. Or even if you can do a whole African print curtain or something like that, maybe in a toned down color. Okay. So I'm talking about this, and I've seen one, and it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming for me. For you. I don't know about other people, and I was with a fellow interior designer, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming." It's a bit too much. So you can do touches. I know with African culture, we have like the calabashes and the gourds. So maybe you can do that for your table instead of maybe serving people in glasses. You can do maybe holders for your calabash and put it to serve your drinks. Okay. You know, you have the asanka and stuff. You know, little touches. You know, it makes it more delightful, but in subtle ways, not splashed all over and then just swallows us, and you're like, okay, you want to run out. You won't eat your food again. But
you see, if the food is good, you'll be surprised. People can tolerate a lot if the food is good. Yeah. Because food informs a lot of decisions, you know. Yeah.
I know.
Now, let's say for somebody who was to do something out of the ordinary, because I've gone into Chinese restaurants or Japanese restaurants, and I know they don't have chairs. You sit on a mat and you eat, you know, on a very short table. Yes. Okay. I don't think I've seen some in Ghana here. But if you want to incorporate that here, because you have to consider the kind of people you're doing everything for. Yes. Ghanaians, are we going to buy into that idea? Are they open to that?
Sitting on the floor. Because in a Ghanaian home, you usually have chairs and, you know.
Oh, but there are some people who like to sit, open their legs wide, put the food in front of them. I can't do that.
Actually need to. I didn't want to, you know, but yeah, me too. So yeah, definitely. But I think with that, you really have to check, because it depends. If I'm going out to eat, do I really want to sit down on the floor? I mean, for the places you're talking about.
Okay, so if it's like a sushi bar, then you can try.
You can try it because you know you're going to a sushi bar. It's a cultural thing. It's an Asian thing for them to sit on low tables and eat and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and as I said in the beginning, it's all about concept. It's all about concept, the concept you're going for. So maybe you're Ghanaian and you want to open an Asian inspired restaurant. So go for it. So maybe your waiters are going to have Asian inspired, you know, uniforms and everything. So it's all about you. I think with restaurant design, you really can't box yourself in. It's all about the concept you're going for and the ambience you're trying to create and the experience you're trying to give your customers at the end of the day.
So you mentioned ambience. Is lighting important when it comes to restaurant decor?
Definitely. And I think with lighting, I find that fine dining restaurants tend to do that really, really well, because they've seen the importance of lighting and they've seen how it creates such a beautiful ambience in the place. Like, you know, with restaurants like that, you want people, they're quite expensive. You want your customers to linger there, relax, linger there for a while and order more, because the more they order, the more money you're making. So it's very, it depends on what you're going for, but I tend to love like soft lights and, you know, warm lights and stuff like that. And some restaurants in Ghana have done that really well.
Nicely.
So definitely your lighting is important. So you should consider that if you are trying to get people relaxed, I don't think you should have like bright lights shining in their, I mean, after a long hard day at work, they don't need bright lights shining in their face. You know, just mellow the mood a bit. You can have some, you know, they even have these like electronic candles now. You can do that. Just give it some nice soft glow in the place.
Just to create the mood for a good conversation.
Yes, exactly.
But I've not seen a kids restaurant yet, and that's an idea for somebody out there. I
know.
I just gave a free idea for somebody. Kids restaurant. what are some of the things you can put in a kids restaurant to make it fun, to make it more interesting? I mean, to make it a place where kids will want to stay and not want to go home.
Okay. So I think, well, I don't, as she said, I haven't seen one in Ghana.
Yeah, there's no kids restaurant in Ghana.
But what you can do is maybe you can give them coloring books. Outside in the Western world, they do that quite well. So you give them coloring books. While they're eating, they can play. You can, kids will love to scribble and stuff like that. So you can give them stuff like that. And just, kids love color. And so you can just not splash color all over, but just thoughtfully splash color all over the
So I ordered food for us because we're in Casa Trasacco.
All right,
they're giving us something exotic.
Oh, great. We're having pasta.
Yes, and this is lasagna.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Great. This looks
lovely.
beautiful. Oh my God. Okay, so all this for us?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. So this is all from Casa Trasacco.
Wow. So guys, you should come into Casa Trasacco and come and order some food.
Yeah, this is exotic.
I was telling someone that, I think when they opened last year or last 2 years, I was telling someone, I came here and they opened and I was buying food and they're like, where is this? I'm like, interior designers would know. You don't know. So now you know, the secret is out. When we come here, we are spending long hours. We are not only shopping, we are eating too. We are eating too.
Now, talking about Casa Trasacco, I love their decor.
I do too. It's really lovely. I mean, what do you expect from Casa Trasacco? They're a decor house.
They're a decor house. That's the right word for them. So yeah, we've let our secret out. When we come shopping, we don't just come shopping.
50-50. We eat.
And then we refresh our brains.
Yes. And then we go and look around. Cool.
Okay, now we can't talk about restaurant without talking about safety.
Okay.
Because safety is very important because you're going to have a lot of people at a time in a restaurant, so you need to take safety measures seriously. Now, we as decorators obviously have to incorporate that into the design when we're coming up with the final design. What are some of the safety, precautions somebody can take? I mean, because depending on the kind of decor you're going for, what are the safety precautions you can take just to avoid Ghana police all over you?
Oh, Ghana police, they mind.
You'd be surprised.
Really? I see. Interesting. So I was thinking, once you started talking about safety, I was thinking floors.
Floors. Good one. Floors.
You don't want
slippery
floors because you have food all around. Things can easily spill, and if they spill and your waiters are not fast enough to wipe it, people are falling all over the place. Another thing is fire. So I think in the kitchen area, you definitely need extinguishers to make sure that
Is it just in the kitchen area?
In the kitchen area, well, maybe here. I think here as well, inside the dining area as well. So I think for me, those two things are important: slippery floors and then fire extinguishers.
Fire extinguishers.
Yes. What's about?
What about? Because I was going to. What about the fire alarms, just to help with in case there's fire and all that.
So that ties in with in case there's fire extinguishers, fire alarms. Yeah.
And what about the materials you use for the decor?
Okay.
That also come into play when you're.
Okay, so I'm thinking maybe if in case we're talking concerts, so in case someone wants to go all out of the box and thinks of some crazy spiky concept, maybe your table should be, you don't want sharp corners, especially as we're talking before we were
kids.
We're talking about kids, so you don't want like sharp corners, heavy objects, things like could easily break and hurt people and stuff like that. But what else were you thinking? What else did you have in mind?
Well, I was thinking because when it comes to wood, you have to make sure that your wood is treated well, so that not too. I don't know how to put the word, but
not too rough.
Yes.
Okay.
Not too rough, and then you don't want a situation whereby wood obviously catches fire easily. Yeah. But when it's treated well, I think it takes a while before it catches fire. Yeah. And then when it comes to metal, metal also takes a while before it catches. But metal is something people have not really used.
Explored.
Yes, they've not explored it a lot, but it's something they could consider.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's so many design ideas
I think if you're a restaurant owner out there who wants to open a restaurant, the first step is to, as we discussed, to decide the type of restaurant you're
going for,
and then cafe. Cafe and bistro, whatever, deli, whatever it is. And just go out there. There's so many ideas out there. Just get concepts, because there's so many interesting concepts.
Yeah.
Like I love pictures. I just take time to look at pictures and stuff like that. I discovered Café Gemma in Paris. So lovely. It has a big sculpture of, I don't know, a lady they've nicknamed Sophie.
Okay.
So it's a 2-floor restaurant. So they have one floor with her bottom
part,
and then at the top
that's
you
an
have
interesting
her.
one.
Really interesting.
That's an interesting
so
one.
you can. I think with restaurants, it's all about concept. So you can just think outside the box. And just put together something nice.
So it doesn't matter where you're coming from.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, you can actually incorporate that into it. So if like you're coming from any part of the region in Ghana here, you can focus on your region, culture, and then bring out something. Okay, thank you so much, Selom. And now we have food to eat. And after that, we're going to go around and show people the different concepts or the different things you can incorporate or steal from Casa.
And the good thing is you can actually steal from them because they have it on sale, so you can come and buy it. So that's a good thing.
I mean, they can actually consider selling it to you.
I know. Well, we're trying to make money here, right? We're trying to make money, so if you want to
go straight to our food, because it's been sitting here and then we'll be right back.
This is TV Samsung.
Ernest starts off by visiting www.casatrasaco.com. At Casa Trasaco, we offer a wide range of high-quality products at a competitive price. From consultation to installation, you can rest assured that the price we quote you is the final fixed price, with no hidden fees. Our staff will follow production processes on site, avoiding any nasty surprises. So what are you waiting for? Come on down to Casa Trasaco and see for yourself.
Enough! Abba! Plenty medical bills. I have tried different methods and it hasn't prevented sin. My son has been in the hospital twice this year because of malaria. I haven't had a good night's sleep in years. But now no more, since I painted with Innisfly insecticide paint. Copy.
Innisfly insecticide paint kills mosquitoes dead for up to 2 years. It is a quality paint, a healthier option, and it's totally safe for humans and pets.
Take my word for it. Paint malaria out. Use Innisfly insecticide paint now.
Innisfly for a pest-free life.
Welcome back, everyone. We're still in the Casa Trasaco restaurant, and we're going to tell you a bit about their decor and the concept behind it. This screams Italy, right?
Yes.
It does.
Yes, it does. Definitely.
And I want to say, in a bit of Ghanaian because of the palace that they have here with the crates of drinks.
Yes.
But you want to say something
I was thinking more like a wine cellar, so like Italian wine. But then I think you can see it both because they put beer bottles. So for us,
it's for us.
Yes, it's for us.
It's a done deal.
If there were wine bottles, then we'll say yes, it's a wine cellar.
But yeah,
definitely.
So these are like concepts that you can come up with you don't have to do something too expensive because the palette is not too expensive.
They're quite cheap. They're all over the place.
And you can go around most houses knocking for empty bottles.
I think you can go to, is it Club Beer? And they'll give you just pay them something small and they'll give you.
You're actually advertising for them, so they should be paying you.
Actually, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then this table here. Now this is for like a more romantic, more
intimate.
You know the word. You've been coming here too often.
Oh, no, please.
And I like the bottom part of the table.
Yes.
The top is the wood.
Yeah.
Good finish, nice.
Yes.
But then the bottom part has an interesting touch to it. It looks like an old,
like a machine. I'm not very technical. I don't like machine very well. But
and this one, this is more fine dining, right? More casual, but it can be fine dining as well.
Touches of fine
dining because of the bench there, and you can sit a lot of people.
Yes, definitely. This is quite nice.
Very nice.
So I like the fact that you have all 3 tables that we did were all wood, but then different stages of wood. So we had like the really, really rustic
wood, yes.
And then we came to almost polish, and this is quite nice and smooth and everything.
And can you talk about the
stool?
The stool, yeah.
So what's the concept?
The bench here.
Okay, so I see leather, I see wood. What's the concept you think we are going for?
Well, I'm just loving the whole jeans. Because this is like a jeans
fabric.
Fabric they're using here with the leather. And then the wood. Okay. And because of the color theme going on here, it has that more rustic feel to it.
More toned down and everything. I mean, definitely, I think if you're going to open a restaurant, Casa is a place to be because you have different concepts put together and you can definitely, steal some of your concepts.
At the same time, buying from them because they have everything here on sale. Yeah. And then we have that rag. I love the interesting...
the colors and the patterns and everything.
Yeah.
With the flower motifs and everything. So guys, I think as we said earlier, it's all about the concept you're going for. If you want to do color with the top they did basic colors, so not too much color, and then on the floor they just splashed color all over. So if you want to do that, if that's your take on life and you want to splash color on your floor, that's fine. This is just beautiful right here.
Yeah. But then there's something going on here. You can see the chairs are 2 different colors. Because I know most people like
textures.
2 different textures. Most people are so boxed up in their minds. They do the same chair, machi. There's another concept. You can do 2 different chairs, 2 different textures.
So what ties it together is the style. The style is the same. The colors are different and the textures are different. The fabric material used is different.
Can we talk about the wall?
Yes,
definitely. And then that interesting thing going on here, the bar area. I love it.
I love it.
I love what's going on here.
I love the wood used.
The wood finish.
I mean, I think we should just stay here. We love Casa,
but we always come here. And now they're giving us food. So
I know, now they just want us to spend all our days here.
We're going to come here.
We won't go.
Love the wood, yes.
Wood going
These are like different types of wood finish.
Wood finishes with different colors and just lovely.
Yeah, but the colors, do you know the interesting thing that they did?
What's that?
They painted it.
Yeah.
It's painted.
Yeah.
For somebody who doesn't know.
No, okay.
So if you want to incorporate that in your restaurant, what you do is you have different types of wood and then you can paint some of them, just to give it that different
pops of color, because I'm guessing you didn't want a whole brown. I mean, once you get wood, it's going to be brown.
Yeah, mostly brown.
In case you don't want to deaden your space.
If you polish it, doesn't it bring it out?
Definitely, it does. It does. I mean, that's why so it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for rustic, then you don't want to polish it too much. If you want all prim and proper, then definitely you polish it, make it look sleek and nice and classy.
Right. So, and then we can't leave without talking about this interesting color going on here.
Okay.
We have
red.
Yes. The turquoise.
Red. Okay. I was looking at the red.
You're looking at the red.
Because that's what jumped,
You're wearing red, so obviously
that's what just hit me in the face. And the turquoise is really nice. Sorry, can we?
Yeah, you can.
What material is this? I can't even figure it out myself.
We'll figure it out and tell them later.
Okay.
Now, as the accessories they've used here, can you walk us through it a bit?
Okay, definitely. So as you said earlier, motorbikes are an Italian thing. I didn't know that.
Well, the name is Chop Italy.
Chop Italy, so I guess, yes.
Obviously, everything has to come from Italy.
Yes, so maybe the motorbike for maybe the restaurant owner, reminds her of Italy, so she put that there. And then the red, definitely. I mean, Italy, red, they're known for the color red because of their flag.
Yeah.
So, and then we have, we were talking Italy, and then now we have Paris. France written, right?
We're all one people.
Yeah, you know, sister countries, the romantic countries.
Yeah.
So yes, you have the clock there. And then I was saying that the box right there just reminds me, it's something very industrial. So maybe back to the industrial age, a workman coming and then he putting his keys in this box right here. So that's also something definitely from the industrial age.
We can relate it to the
yes, the table with the button.
Yes.
Also something from the industrial age as well. So very interesting concepts going on here.
I think everything, you know, kind of bounces off each other beautifully. Because I'm seeing the color of the bar over here. You know, and then the pops of orange.
You know, red and green. Italy.
Yeah.
Italy. That's
everything
right.
Italy. And there's this table that I've been meaning to talk about.
Okay.
It has a very interesting look to it.
Okay.
It looks like a very basic table, and then the mirror.
Okay.
That rustic mirror.
Yes.
What we only see in scary movies.
I know.
This table right here, I love it. Beautifully done, very simple.
Yeah.
But everything on it makes it look so exotic.
Yes. Quite interesting, and it has all these bar codes. So I think more like for beer drinking people, because it has all these beer codes and stuff like that. Quite interesting as well, as you said.
And we talk about the mirror.
The mirror. You know, I've always had a problem with this mirror because I tell them when I come here, I tell them that we're in Ghana. Why are you giving me the British flag? Like, why do you want me to buy a British flag? Well, I guess there's some British people in Ghana, so definitely. But you're talking about the mirror itself. The finished, the non-glossy. You can't really see yourself. Can you see it? Can you see?
You can't. That's how it looks like. You can't do anything about it.
Quite interesting as well.
But for somebody who doesn't maybe wants to use a Ghanaian flag, I think it can be incorporated into that. Doesn't, I mean,
so you can ask them to change it for you.
Well,
for you. Okay.
I'm sure.
I guess that works.
Yeah, but that's an interesting concept, though.
Yeah, very interesting. I love the first one. I loved it. My only problem was the fact that I'm not British. So.
Well, we're all one people. It doesn't matter where you're coming from in the world.
Well, yes.
Michael Jackson would say, we are one people.
Okay.
So
cool. So you can have it in your space. Okay, that's fine.
Thank you so much for coming. It was so much fun.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm going to invite you again for lunch.
Definitely. Off camera, where there are no lights flashing in your face.
And we can actually sit down and eat. This has been My Space with Lisa. I want to say a big thank you to my sponsors, Casa Trasacco, for allowing us to shoot in this beautiful restaurant of theirs, Chop Italy. I like the name. It's quite interesting. And to my other sponsors, Samsung, Indusfly, and Trasacco Group. And for my makeup, Aba Always, my hair, Beauty Within Haven, and my dress, Belmo's Fashion. This has been a wonderful show. I'm going to see you again next week. When it comes to decor, live your style. Bye-bye.
Listen, they call me Manya One. If you don't know, my name is Manya One. Make elaborate. Now this scam boy I got for my date. They call him Jake. So wahala make we separate. All this time I did dedicate. This boy know they appreciate. He go jubilate. When I give him money, he go celebrate. Oh, and I met this baby, yo. Boy, he a different.
My Space with Lisa is proudly brought to you by Samsung, Casa Trasacco, Trasacco Groups, and Indusfly.